I actually transmigrated into a dog-blood sadomasochistic novel. To force me into a divorce, my CEO wife whips me with a small leather whip every single day. Looking at the 2 billion yuan breakup fee, my eyes lit up. I quickly signed the divorce agreement, then said with a grin, wishing you two a lifetime of happiness together, and 8 babies in one pregnancy. Lu Ruyan slammed the saltwater-soaked whip heavily onto my body. She asked coldly, Lu Ran, let me ask you one more time, are you going to divorce or not? The burning pain reminded me that this was not a dream. A delivery guy like me had actually transmigrated into a male antagonist. The original Lu Ran and Lu Ruyan were in a business marriage, with no affection whatsoever. During the 5 years of marriage, it all relied on Lu Ran's one-sided pleasing. From beginning to end, Lu Ruyan only had her white moonlight, Xiao Ziyuan, in her heart. Yesterday, Lu Ran slapped Xiao Ziyuan hard out of jealousy. To vent anger for Xiao Ziyuan, Lu Ruyan hung him up and beat him brutally. I remembered the plot of the book. Lu Ran refused to divorce even to the death, and in the end, he was torn apart by 5 horses, a miserable fate. To save my life, I hurriedly said, divorce. Divorce. I will divorce. Only then did Lu Ruyan have someone let me down, and immediately threw the agreement to me. Looking at the breakup fee on the divorce agreement, I trembled with excitement. 2 billion yuan. Besides that, there are real estate, stocks, and funds. What's the difference between this and being reincarnated as a rich second generation? Seeing my face almost split from smiling, Lu Ruyan frowned. Lu Ran, are you very happy? I immediately reacted, thought about all the sad things from my past life, squeezed out 2 tears, and said with a trembling voice, can't you tell I'm just forcing a smile? Can we not divorce? Lu Ruyan interrupted me impatiently, stop daydreaming, sign it quickly. My hands were beaten so badly they were almost broken, and I couldn't sign at all. I had to grip the pen with my toes and quickly signed my name. Lu Ruyan looked at me in shock. Fearing she would notice something, I cried even harder, I was also forced by you. Unfortunately, there is a divorce cooling-off period now, and I have to wait 30 days before I can get the money. I didn't even dare to dream of earning so much money. But as a female CEO worth hundreds of billions, this small amount of money was just a drop in the bucket for Lu Ruyan. Just as Lu Ruyan was about to speak, the phone on her body rang. She picked up the phone, okay, I'll head over right away. I knew Xiao Ziyuan had contacted her. After hanging up, Lu Ruyan turned to leave but found something tripping her feet. She looked down to see me tightly hugging her thigh, looking at her pitifully. Today is our 5th wedding anniversary, do you really have to go find him? With a face full of disgust, Lu Ruyan kicked me away. Looking at her departing back, I let out a sigh of relief. Great, she's finally gone. Just as I was about to count the money again, Lu Ruyan suddenly came back. She grabbed me by the collar and dragged me to the hospital. I was dragged there completely bewildered. A fire broke out at Ziyuan's place, and he got burned. Your skin tone is the closest to his, so we need to take some of your skin for his skin graft. I widened my eyes and refused, no way. But Lu Ruyan ignored my words and forced them to take me into the operating room. When I woke up, I found myself lying on a hospital bed. A piercing pain came from my arm, making me want to curse out loud. This damn scumbag woman didn't care about my life at all for the sake of her white moonlight. Lu Ruyan stood by the bed, how are you doing? I rolled over and ignored her completely. After all, the original owner had diligently licked her boots for 5 years. Even without outstanding merit, there was hard work, but in her heart, he didn't mean crap. Thinking of this, I felt chilled to the bone and didn't even have the energy to fake it anymore. With a ding sound, my phone suddenly made a notification sound, 5 million has arrived. I sat up with a sudden leap like a carp flipping. Lu Ruyan looked at my reaction, this is your compensation. To be fair, as trashy as she is, she doesn't hesitate at all when it comes to giving money. For the sake of the money, I was too lazy to hold a grudge about her cutting my flesh. Don't blame me for loving money. The original owner's family had fallen from grace, turning from a wealthy family into a poor one, with pockets cleaner than his face. After throwing the money, Lu Ruyan went to the neighboring ward to accompany Xiao Ziyuan. Holding the card with 5 million in my account, my spirits suddenly lifted. I prepared to take this compensation money, leave the hospital, and go enjoy myself. Passing by the neighboring ward, I saw Lu Ruyan feeding porridge to Xiao Ziyuan. Such a gentle and attentive appearance was something Lu Ren had never seen before. She treats Xiao Ziyuan like a treasure, while treating Lu Ren like trash. Whatever, we are getting divorced soon anyway. Half an hour later, I arrived at the most luxurious club in the city. Find me 8 beautiful girls. Remember, for wearing black stockings, and the other 4 don't need to. Quickly, the 8 girls arrived, and my gloomy mood instantly vanished. The beautiful girls were like flowers, far better than that ice-cold face of Lu Ruyan. I asked them to rub my shoulders, massage me, and dance for me. Handsome, let me buy you a drink. Handsome, come and catch me. I immersed myself in that tenderness, playing happily. Thinking back to my delivery days in the past, where tears mixed with my meals, I had sworn to earn 1 million to live a prosperous life. Now, I have finally fulfilled my dream. Who would have thought that while the girls were half undressed, I saw Lu Ruyan? Isn't she supposed to be at the hospital taking care of her ex-boyfriend? Why is she here? If she sees this, she might break all 3 of my legs. I didn't know where to hide, so I could only watch helplessly as she walked over. Our eyes met. Lu Ruyan's face was so dark it looked like it was about to drip water. I was so scared that I almost wet my pants, forcing a dry laugh. What a coincidence. Lu Ruyan couldn't contain her anger. Lu Ran, do you want to die? This woman really has double standards. It's fine for her to cheat on me, but just because I called a few girls to hang out, she gets upset. The thing is, she doesn't even love me, she's just holding on to the spot without letting go. Luckily, I am someone who has weathered great storms, so I quickly regained my composure. Why did I come here to find women? If others don't know, don't you? I summoned my Oscar-worthy acting skills, putting on a pained and reproachful face. Isn't it because I wanted to make you jealous? Lu Ruyan, have you ever loved me, even just a little? Facing my expectant gaze, Lu Ruyan coldly and ruthlessly said, no. Enduring the heartache, I pushed the beautiful girls in my arms away. No need to continue acting, you all can leave. The 8 girls were utterly bewildered, but they still went out. Lu Ruyan fully believed my words, thinking I had purposely found other women to make her jealous. Lu Ran, you don't need to waste your efforts. I could never fall in love with you in this lifetime. Fine, 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 I don't care for a rotten cabbage like you either. At this moment, her secretary walked over and reminded her, President Lu, President Qin is waiting for you in the private room. So, she came to meet a client. What a workaholic. Lu Ruyan glanced at me. Go back home, don't embarrass me out here. All right, for the sake of money, what does a little humiliation matter? Leaving the club, I saw a splendidly dressed woman and suddenly found her somewhat familiar. After a moment, I remembered Su Qianxian. She was the vicious female supporting character in this novel, who had secretly loved the male lead Xiao Ziyuan for years and schemed endlessly to get him. Later, she even approached Lu Ren to cooperate in breaking up the main leads, and her tragic end can easily be imagined. I didn't want to seek death, so I pretended not to see her. Lu Ren, she called out to stop me. I blinked. What's up? Su Qianxian asked, I heard you and Lu Ruyan are preparing to get a divorce? Don't you love her very much? Was there something wrong with me? Lu Ruyan's cheating was so extensive she was practically a spider spirit. I wasn't the original cuckold king. Of course I loved her, but I loved money even more. Getting a divorce would net me 2 billion, where else could I find such a good deal? Only a fool would insist on hanging themselves on Lu Ruyan's tree. Clutching my heart, I put on a sad expression inside. But she doesn't love me, and there's nothing I can do. I can only let her go. Su Qianxian looked at me meaningfully. After all, as everyone knew, though Lu Ruyan tortured me 1,000 times, I still treated her like my first love. Fearing I would expose myself, I quickly made an excuse to leave. Back at the villa, I happily went into the kitchen to prepare 8 dishes and a soup for Lu Ruyan. They were all dark cuisine. It felt like taking one bite would shorten my life by several years. When Lu Ruyan came back, I wiped the sweat from my forehead. My back was drenched in sweat as I softly said, "Come and eat, I made your favorite stir-fried eggs with tomatoes." Since we haven't officially divorced yet, my simp persona cannot collapse. Lu Ruyan didn't even spare me a glance and walked straight upstairs. Seeing this, the butler comforted me, "Sir, don't be sad. President Lu probably already ate outside. Why on earth would I be sad? Clear all these dishes away. Tell the kitchen to make me butter-grilled Australian lobster, king crab with pink sauce, carrot enoki mushroom soup, shredded potatoes, and foie gras pizza with caviar." I ordered 12 dishes in one breath, thought for a moment, and added, "Oh right, bring me another bottle of 82 Lafite." The butler was stunned, wondering why the master suddenly became a different person the moment President Lu left. After eating my fill, I went upstairs and happened to see Lu Ruyan coming out of the bathroom. She had probably just finished bathing, wrapped only in a bath towel. Her skin was smooth and her figure was perfectly curvy. No wonder the original host was so infatuated with her. She is truly a masterpiece. Lu Ruyan wrapped her towel tightly and looked at me with annoyance, shouting, "Lu Ran." I just shrugged, thinking to myself that no matter how beautiful she is, it's useless. Lust is a knife overhead. In the following days, all I did was buy, spending money until my hands were tired. If I don't take this chance to spend her money, I won't have another opportunity later. When the divorce cooling-off period ended, I immediately dragged Lu Ruyan to complete the paperwork. Successfully receiving the divorce certificate, I double-checked that the 20 billion had arrived in my account. Turning back to look at Lu Ruyan, I grinned and said, "Ex-wife, thanks for your money. I wish you two a century of happiness and 8 babies in one birth." Lu Ruyan froze. Looking at my cheerful and excited expression, she gritted her teeth and said, "Lu Ran, stop pretending. Even if you kneel down and beg me to remarry you, then I won't spare you a glance. Ridiculous, even if it kills me, I won't return the money." I was too lazy to talk to her further and turned to leave. Now that I have money, I have to go watch pretty girls dance. However, before I could even reach the club, I was struck from behind and blacked out. In an abandoned factory, I opened my eyes only to see. Next to me, there was a guy who was also tied up like a mummy, looking quite decent yet pretentious. With just one glance, I recognized him immediately as Xiao Zhiyuan. So, the male lead and I were kidnapped together. There was no need to guess, these kidnappers were definitely enemies of Lu Ruyan. But I clearly remembered there was no such kidnapping plot in the novel. This system is truly crazy. Are they trying to screw me over? I looked at the tattooed guy and said, "Big brother, you guys got the wrong person. I'm innocent. What's the point of kidnapping me to threaten Lu Ruyan? The one she loves isn't me. Besides, I just divorced her. She cares even less about whether I live or die." The tattooed guy slapped me hard. "Shut up." Annoyed by my rambling, he took off his sock and stuffed it into my mouth. I felt so disgusted that I wanted to throw up. Suddenly, there was a commotion outside the door. I looked up and saw Lu Ruyan walking in alone, asking, "How much money do you want?" The kidnapper gestured a number and sneered, "Between these two, you can only choose to save one." Lu Ruyan would definitely choose to save Xiao Zhiyuan. It's over, I'm completely done for this time. I haven't even had the chance to spend the 20 billion in my card, and I'm already heading to the afterlife? How frustrating. Lu Ruyan glanced at me, her eyes flickering with hesitation. I choose Xiao Zhiyuan. Release him immediately. I wasn't surprised at all, my heart had gone completely cold. The kidnapper was very straightforward. Upon receiving the money, he released Xiao Zhiyuan. Lu Ruyan helped Xiao Zhiyuan up, then turned her head to look at me, promising, I will come back to save you. I really didn't understand what was going through her mind. If she wanted to save me, why didn't she just bring a bit more money to rescue both of us? To be so stingy at such a crucial moment. After they left, the tattooed guy looked at me from head to toe and said, this guy looks pretty good, smooth skin. His organs should fetch a handsome price. I froze. Incredible, it sounded like they were planning to harvest my organs and sell them piece by piece. This was a fate worse than death. Just as I was trembling in fear, I suddenly heard someone shouting ahead, fire. Run, quick. The next second, an explosion went off and I was blasted outward. 3 months later, I was leisurely vacationing in the Maldives. Beautiful women were everywhere, making my eyes wander. Suddenly, a slender figure appeared. A woman caught my attention. Amidst a crowd of hot and beautiful girls, she stood out exceptionally, looking incredibly gorgeous. I looked closely and realized it was actually Su Qianqian. By the time I wanted to run, it was already too late. Su Qianqian had spotted me and was looking in my direction. She walked right up to me and asked in surprise, Lu Ran, you're not dead? I didn't want any entanglement with people from my past, so I casually brushed her off. I'm just lucky. I was indeed injured in that explosion, but fortunately, it wasn't serious. Once I fully recovered, I came here for a vacation. Su Qianqian brought me some news. She said everyone thought I died in that explosion, but Lu Ruyan refused to believe it. She has been searching for me everywhere like crazy, which is highly unusual. It seems she cares about you a lot. Do you want to go back? Hearing this, I was quite surprised. Having rid herself of a troublesome ex-husband like me, shouldn't Lu Ruyan be happily living with Xiao Zhiyuan? Why is she looking for me everywhere? Could she want to get back that 2.1 billion yuan? I absolutely cannot let her find out I'm alive. Once the money is in my pocket, she can forget about getting it back. I flatly replied, I'm not going back. However, I also understood Su Qianqian's intentions. She wanted to persuade me to go back so she could have a chance to be with Xiao Zhiyuan. I really wanted to tell her to stop wasting her energy. The male and female leads are a match made in heaven and cannot be separated. Cannon fodders like us stand no chance against them. Su Qianqian seemed to read my mind. She asked, do you think I'm persuading you to go back just to get Xiao Zhiyuan? I remained silent, which was as good as admitting it. She chuckled a few times and lazily lay down on the seat opposite me. I have absolutely no interest in Xiao Zhiyuan. I'm not that fool, Su Qianqian. My eyes widened in realization. You're not Su Qianqian? Su Qianqian nodded, smart of you to figure it out. No wonder I felt she didn't look like the wicked female second lead in the novel. She turned out to be an imposter just like me. Su Qianqian looked at me and said suggestively, I know you also transmigrated into this book. I was even more shocked. How did you know? Su Qianqian raised her eyebrows. I guessed it when I saw you looking for girls in the club last time. The real Lu Ran loved the female lead with all his heart. It's impossible for him to. Oh my, I no longer have any desire for this luxurious life. This girl is definitely not simple. I laughed, not expecting that I could find a kindred spirit here. For the next few hours, Su Qianqian and I constantly badmouthed this novel as well as the male and female leads. Of course, the author wasn't spared either, only knowing how to write melodramatic dog blood plots and mutual torture. Su Qianqian and I got along very well because we shared the same situation. Staying in one place for too long got boring, so I suggested going somewhere else. Traveling alone is lonely, with no one to share the experience. Su Qianqian felt the same way. In the end, we decided to travel together. I must say, Su Qianqian is an amazing travel companion. She took charge of making the itinerary, handling all the food and entertainment, so I didn't have to do anything but follow her. During the trip, she never complained, possessed boundless energy, and never cried fatigue. She even mentioned that before transmigrating, she had always loved traveling. But due to lack of money back then, now that she has wealth, she wants to go everywhere. In the evening, we visited a local-owned, highly popular bar named Sleepless City. Looking at the bill, my heart ached terribly. No wonder this bar is called Sleepless City. Spending money like this, who on earth could sleep? Noticing my hesitation, Su Qianqian generously said, "Tonight's my treat, order whatever you want." I looked at her with pure admiration. Even though we are both transmigrators, she lucked out way more than I did. Waking up to find herself a rich lady instantly without needing to make any effort. I worked so hard to earn these 20 billion, almost losing my life, so of course, I have to be frugal. After playing around for a full half year and visiting almost every country, it felt just like that. I planned to do something else, to start a business. Su Qianqian suggested, "I have a company I can hand over to you to manage, you keep the profits, and I'll bear the losses." I was overjoyed upon hearing that, wondering how such a good thing could exist. Suddenly remembering something, I slumped again, but I have no experience, I've only ever worked as a delivery guy. Su Qianqian patted her chest, "I can teach you." Having transmigrated here a few years earlier than me, she hadn't been idle, learning business from her parents and managing the family estate, unlike in the novels. Like Su Qianqian, he spent all day revolving around the male lead. He had also thought about the day his true identity would be exposed, grabbing a huge sum to run away, and then making a comeback. I increasingly felt that Su Qianqian was much more clever than Lu Ruyan, clear-headed and far-sighted. Lu Ruyan was just a brainless love brain. Since I didn't intend to keep running that company anyway, let's see if you have the ability. Alright, although I have some savings right now, I can't just sit idle and eat away my resources, I need to find a way to make money. I have always wanted to start a business, but I was too poor before, and now I finally have the opportunity to realize it. With Su Qianqian's help, I gradually figured out the way of doing business and learned how to run a company. Thanks to my efforts, the company quickly revived, and at least the projects we invested in slowly cut their losses. Su Qianqian also silently encouraged me, "I think you have a natural talent for business. Just go ahead boldly and do it, I'll back you up." I was very grateful to her. "Thank you so much, Qianqian." Su Qianqian smiled, "No need to be polite, we are allies." The company ran better and better, and I began to attend various business events, where encountering acquaintances was inevitable. At a bustling banquet, Lu Ruyan stared at me, stunned for a long time, and said excitedly, "Lu Run, you're back. I knew you weren't dead." I gave a half-smile, "I'm sorry, President Lu, I didn't die and disappointed you." Lu Ruyan panicked, "I'm sorry." I interrupted her words, "It's fine, it's all in the past, just don't ask me to return the money." Seeing me act so indifferent, Lu Ruyan was rather at a loss. "Lu Ran, I know you blame me for not choosing to save you back then. It's not what you think, I never wanted you to die." With red eyes, she continued to explain, "On the day I went back to save you, the factory had already exploded. For over half a year, I have been looking for you, I never ignored you." I was puzzled. She had no feelings for me, so why was she acting so affectionate now? She indeed didn't want me to die, but between me and Xiao Zhiyuan, she would always favor Xiao Zhiyuan. I couldn't be bothered to listen to her nonsense. "All right, that's enough. I'm not dead, let's just leave it at that." Seeing me leave, Lu Ruyan stopped me. "Wait a minute." I looked at her impatiently. "Is there anything else?" Lu Ruyan asked, "Where are you living now? Do you want to come back with me?" I almost thought I heard her wrong. "Come back?" Lu Ruyan nodded and looked at me, saying, "Your things are still at home, untouched. Come back with me, okay?" I waved my hand. "We are already divorced, we have nothing to do with each other anymore, I won't go back. You should just throw all those things away. Lu Ruyan's eyes were burning with passion, and her tone was humble. Lu Ran, is there no longer any chance between us? Before I could answer, Xiao Zhiyuan walked over. Ruyan. Wearing a sleek suit, his entire demeanor had changed, carrying a high and mighty attitude. When he looked at me, his eyes showed clear disdain. He wrapped his arm around Lu Ruyan's waist and said, President Lin is waiting for us over there. Although Lu Ruyan was hesitant, she still followed Xiao Zhiyuan. Seeing me staring thoughtfully at Lu Ruyan's departing figure, Su Qianqian nudged my arm and asked, You aren't actually touched, are you? After all, Lu Ruyan is a top-tier beauty who is one in a million. It is truly rare for her to lower herself and seek reconciliation now. I stroked my chin and smiled, I am indeed very touched. Su Qianqian's face instantly turned dark. Before she could start scolding me, I continued, Do you think I should use her guilt to get her to sign a few big orders with our company? Hearing me say this, Su Qianqian smiled, and here I thought you were a hopeless romantic, but turned out you are just a career-minded guy. But how could I ever fall for Lu Ruyan? Being with her would get me killed sooner or later. The kidnapping last time was the best example, and I don't want to dig my own grave. Besides, I don't think Lu Ruyan actually fell in love with me. She's just feeling guilty because she almost got me killed. If I kept clinging to her like before, she would soon return to her old ways. Later, I had someone look into Lu Ruyan's recent news, only to find out that she and Xiao Zhiyuan were not married yet. Word had it that Elder Lu did not agree to let them be together. No wonder she came looking for reconciliation, she just wanted to use me as a backup plan. One morning, while I was still fast asleep, I heard the doorbell ring. I rubbed my eyes, got up to open the door, and to my surprise, the person standing outside was Lu Ruyan. Lu Ran, you still haven't answered my question from yesterday. I frowned. How did she even manage to chase me all the way to my house? I won't get back together with you. Just leave. Lu Ruyan grabbed my arm, pleading, Lu Ran, I know I did many things to hurt you in the past and made you very sad. I know I was wrong, and I will never treat you like that again. I brushed her hand off and said coldly, Lu Ruyan, the one you love is Xiao Zhiyuan, not me. Does he know you came here to find me? Lu Ruyan shook her head, her eyes turning red, I do have you in my heart. During the time you disappeared, I lived in agony. Every day felt like being a living corpse, I couldn't work, couldn't sleep well, and my mind was filled with your face whenever I closed my eyes. Only now do I realize that I fell in love with you long ago and cannot live without you. As long as you are willing to come back to me, I can break up with Xiao Zhiyuan for you. Haha, a green TB*TCH is always a green TB*TCH, trying to have it both ways. What a pipe dream. Losing my patience, I snapped at her directly. Lu Ruyan, can you stop being so cheap? I poured my heart and soul into loving you for 5 years, yet you never even spared me a proper glance. Now that we're divorced, you claim you love me. How ridiculous. I am not a dog you can whistle for and kick away. Get lost and don't ever come back. If you don't leave now, I'll call Xiao Zhiyuan to pick you up. I scolded her on behalf of the original Lu Ran. Lu Ruyan froze slightly upon hearing this. During their 5 years of marriage, Lu Ran had been completely submissive, loving her with extreme caution. As long as she gave him a slight smile, he would gladly go through fire and water for her. But facing her advances now, I was not only indifferent but also deeply disgusted. This massive contrast left Lu Ruyan feeling incredibly hurt. After a moment, she looked at me suspiciously and asked, Lu Ran, why do I feel like you've become a completely different person now? Feeling a bit guilty, I cleared my throat a few times to cover it up. Yes, the old Lu Ran is already dead, died in that explosion. The current me is reborn. It was a double entendre. Lu Ruyan thought I said that because she had deeply broken my heart. Just as she was about to speak, Su Qianqian's sleepy voice drifted from inside, so early in the morning. Is it her? Right after that, she walked over and said to me in a coquettish voice, Aran, I want to have xiaolong bao and soy milk for breakfast. What is wrong with this girl? Her usual tone is never like this. Last night we discussed the company project until 2 or 3 in the morning, so Su Qianqian didn't leave and slept directly at my house. Su Qianqian desperately winked at me from an angle where Lu Ruyan couldn't see. I instantly understood her cue, put my arm around her waist, and said with a smile, all right, I'll go buy it for you. I looked up at Lu Ruyan and saw her face turn pale, as if she couldn't bear it. Obviously, she misunderstood my relationship with Su Qianqian, but I didn't bother to explain. A misunderstanding is even better, saving me from her annoying me again. Lu Ruyan bit her lip and asked, are you two together? Su Qianqian leaned her head against my chest, looked at Lu Ruyan, raised her eyebrows, and smiled, eldest Miss Lu, a man you don't know how to cherish will naturally be cherished by someone else. Lu Ruyan looked at me aggrievedly, as if expecting me to clarify, but I didn't. I wished she would just leave quickly. Originally, I planned to discuss a collaboration with her, but now I decided to drop the idea to prevent her from using it as an excuse to pester me later when she would be impossible to shake off. Lu Ruyan suddenly raised her voice and shouted, I don't believe it. Lu Ran, you once said that you would only love me in this lifetime and would never love anyone else. Then she glared at Su Qianqian, don't think I don't know you like Xiao Zhiyuan. What on earth is your purpose in approaching Lu Ran? Su Qianqian wasn't annoyed at all, what you said is hilarious. How can Xiao Zhiyuan even be compared to my A Ran? I don't like him at all, so keep him for yourself. You two scumbags are actually a perfect match. Lu Ruyan raised her hand to slap Su Qianqian, but before she could succeed, I grabbed her wrist in midair. I won't allow you to touch Qianqian at all. Lu Ruyan could hardly believe it as tears streamed down her face. You're defending her? At the same time, she felt the sensation of being abandoned and ignored. Lu Ran, are you trying to take revenge on me? I let go of her hand and rolled my eyes. Lu Ruyan, you think too highly of yourself. I don't love you, I don't care about you, and I certainly have no intention of getting revenge on you. Lu Ruyan took 2 steps back, the color completely draining from her face. She looked at me, as if her entire world was shattering. You don't love me anymore? Why? Why don't you love me anymore? Lu Ruyan, feelings eventually burn out. Think about how you treated me all these years. How do you still have the nerve to ask me to love you forever? With those words, I slammed the door shut with a loud bang. Through the surveillance camera, I watched as Lu Ruyan walked away, utterly lost and despondent. I let go of Su Qianqian and gave her a thumbs up. Fortunately, you were quick-witted enough to put on this act. Looking at the situation, she probably won't come looking for me again. Su Qianqian stared straight at me. What if I said I wasn't acting? I was stunned. What did she mean? Does she really like me? After a long pause, I scratched my head awkwardly. Honestly, I also had a good impression of Su Qianqian. I just didn't know how she felt, so I hesitated to take action. After all, she had no shortage of talented young men around her. Thinking I had no interest in her, Su Qianqian lowered her head and said, forget it. After speaking, she turned to leave, and I hurriedly chased after her. That same evening, I received a phone call from Lu Ruyan. Lu Ran, I'm at the hospital. Can you come see me? It turned out she got into a car accident during the day, injured her leg, and was now lying in the hospital. You should go look for Xiao Zhiyuan. It is not appropriate for me to visit you, ex-wife. Lu Ruyan fell silent for a moment. Even if we are divorced, we can still be friends. Lu Ran, I can't eat anything right now. I only want to eat the stir-fried tomatoes and eggs you make. Why bother? Lu Ran had previously poured his heart and soul into cooking for her, yet she hadn't touched a single bite. Now that she had completely lost it, she desperately wanted it back. I don't know how to cook, and I'm not your nanny. I didn't say it out loud, but the one who knew how to cook was the original Lu Ran, not me. Although stir-fried tomatoes and eggs wasn't a difficult dish, I was unwilling to learn it for her. From the other end of the phone came Lu Ruyan's stifled whimpering. Crying again, making me look like some unfaithful scumbag. Clearly, she was the one who dumped me for Xiao Zhaowen. This woman. You really want to have your cake and eat it too, Lu Ruyan. Why don't you be a bit fair? In the beginning, you were the one who forced me to divorce, and I readily agreed to fulfill your wish. Later on, I almost died, and I didn't blame you for anything. But what is the meaning of you pestering me now? As you can see, I have a new life and a new girlfriend. Or do you think I have to be your simp for the rest of my life to satisfy you? I'm begging you, please let me go, okay? I just want to live a life without you. After saying that, I hung up the phone. Lu Ruyan didn't call back, she probably took my words to heart. If I had known that scolding her worked, I would have scolded her a few more times. Lu Ruyan stopped bothering me, but her parents came to find me instead. They said Lu Ruyan was at the hospital all day without eating or drinking, looking utterly lost, and wanted me to visit her. The elder Lius were extremely snobbish. After the Lu family went bankrupt, they looked down on Lu Ran in every way and kept finding trouble. I am not that weak Lu Ran from before, so I immediately swore right at their faces. Lu Ran, you are too insolent. I snorted. If it weren't for the fact that they already had one foot in the grave, I could have been even harsher. In the end, they left in a fit of rage. My relationship with Su Qianxian also made substantial progress, and we officially became boyfriend and girlfriend. Only then did I know that Su Qianxian had liked me for a long time. She hid it so deep, I thought she only treated me as a friend. Su Qianxian's personality is very interesting, and her values are very upright. Being with her makes me feel very comfortable. She tolerates my shortcomings and is very generous to me. She is my ideal type. After confirming each other's feelings, I proposed to her. Su Qianxian was shocked and asked me repeatedly to confirm, "Have you thought it through?" I nodded solemnly, "Because I met you, my life has become more colorful. Qianxian, I will love you well and strive to be a good husband. Will you marry me?" I knew very well that she was the one I wanted to spend the rest of my life with. Su Qianxian covered her mouth and burst into tears. "I do, 100 times yes." I smiled and put the ring on her finger. Su Qianxian hugged me tightly. "Lu Ran, I love you." "I love you too." After that, I didn't see Lu Ruyan again for a long time. Actually, we lived in the same city. But strangely enough, we just never ran into each other, always missing one another. This also showed that my fate with her had completely ended. Until one day, while I was shopping with Su Qianxian, we ran into Lu Ruyan and Xiao Zhaowen. They seemed to be arguing, and Xiao Zhaowen even slapped Lu Ruyan, causing her to fall to the ground. I heard that after old Master Lu passed away, she married Xiao Zhaowen, but she did not live the happy life she wanted. There were rumors that the two of them argued every day, and Xiao Zhaowen even beat her. Looking at the situation, it was not just a rumor. Honestly, I had never seen Lu Ruyan in such a miserable state. However, this was her choice, and whether it was good or bad, she had to bear it herself. Lu Ruyan turned her head and unexpectedly saw me. The expression on her face was extremely awkward. "Lu Ran, I regret it. If I could start over, I would never choose to divorce you." Halfway through, she couldn't go on and burst into tears. She looked quite pitiful, so I took a tissue from my pocket and handed it to her. "Lu Ruyan, there's no need to regret. No matter how many times you start over, your choice would never change." Being locked together with Xiao Zhaowen was her destiny. Lu Ruyan didn't believe it, stubbornly thinking that if she could start over, she wouldn't divorce me. I could understand this, since she didn't know I had a God's perspective. I didn't say anything more, and holding Su Qianxian's hand, I walked away in another direction. Not long after, I saw the news on the internet that the Lu family had gone bankrupt. Lu Ruyan and Xiao Zaiwen had also divorced. What shocked netizens even more was that after losing everything, Lu Ruyan chose to escape into Buddhism and became a nun. Yet, she always wore a red string on her wrist. It was said to be a gift Lu Ren gave her many years ago. 2 years later, my business was thriving. While not fabulously wealthy, I had achieved financial freedom. For a minor cannon fodder like me, this was already very satisfying. Su Qianxian also got pregnant with twins, a boy and a girl. I was crazy with joy and pampered her like a treasure. From then on, our family of 4 lived a happy life.